Hello, hello, everyone. Happy holidays to you, and welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Shauna Vaughn. Thank you for joining us all over here on YouTube. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. And also, thank you for your comments. I might not agree with everyone's comments. I do read them all, though. So, thank you for everything that you supporting the channel. Let me put it that way. You can also support me monetarily by dropping something in the Cash App that's there. 1111 Oracle. You can pay for a drink, a holiday beverage of your or of my choosing, rather. So, what I want to talk about today, we have a new Epstein drop that happened this week. Let me say this first. In my absence, my apologies for my absence, but you all probably know, especially if you have a college student or you've been a college student, this is the end of the semester for us. So it's really been hectic, but I am almost free. So I said, I have to make sure that I have to drop an episode today, and then I'm going to catch up because there's a lot of information. A lot of things have happened over this 1 week period of time, or 1.5 weeks period of time since I've posted an episode. I don't know what's going on with my shirt here. Okay, so we have a new Epstein drop that happened this week. The Oversight Committee received more information from the Epstein estate, still not the DOJ. The DOJ has until the 19th, but I just want to be clear. At any moment, on any day, at any time, the felon in the Oval Office could order all those files be released by the DOJ. We don't have to wait until the 19th. So why they're choosing this process of, the drip of information, because other sources are going to release the information because, first and foremost, they don't believe that the White House is going to release the information. They don't believe the DOJ is going to do the right thing. So that's why you're seeing this drip of information. But this week, so we received some photos. We received some photos. They have been posted. I will say this. What is his first name? His last name is Garcia. He is over the committee that is working on the Epstein case, if you will, or getting the Epstein files. He said that they received 95,000 photos from the Epstein estate. So we just saw I think they released maybe 25 photos. I haven't been able to go on the website yet. I've only seen what's been released on social media. So yeah, about 25 photos were released on Thursday, I believe. And they're still combing through the others. They're still redacting faces and things like that. But let's get into the photos that we have seen. So again, for the felon to say that he barely knows or barely knew Epstein and he severed their relationship years and years ago, there are several pictures, again, of him with Epstein, of him with, I'm not going to assume because they have explained all the faces that are redacted are actually survivors, whether they were young girls at that time or the young women that were of age, but they still were being trafficked by Epstein. So there's a photo of the felon in the middle of these, you can't really tell the age, can't see their faces, but of these young girls or young women. So there's that one photo. And then you have a photo of him again. We've seen this already, though, with Epstein and a blonde woman. People are saying it looks like Pam Bondi. To my knowledge, it is not Pam Bondi. I just cannot remember the name that has been given for that woman. But apparently, I don't know whether or not she had anything to her involvement, but she was not one of the survivors, is my point. That's why you can fully see her face. All right, so, and then also, we saw a photo of this condom display for $4.50 for condoms with the image of the felon on the condom package and with the wording written across the bottom, I'm huge And y'all know that's one of his words. Huge. You know that. So apparently he's been saying this for years. This has been his catchphrase. And I don't know if this was some sort of gag, gift, or joke in Epstein's house or one of his homes, or this was for actual use, or this was just another grift of the felon. I don't know. But clearly, he had a closer relationship than he is alluding to with Epstein if he's got condoms with his face on them. And one of his catchphrases, huge, everything's so huge with him. It's not. Stormy Daniels has told us it's not. But, he uses this phrase all the time. So just the lies, y'all, just the lies. The number of lies is ridiculous. Then we have a photo with nasty ass Woody Allen. If you don't know about Woody Allen, let me give you a little backstory about Woody Allen. So Woody Allen was married to Mia Farrow. Mia Farrow was an actress, Woody Allen director. They adopted several children, and they have some biological children. One of their biological daughter, she accused Woody Allen of sexually assaulting her. That has happened, I want to say that was within the past 5 to 7 years, right around all the Weinstein, all the Me Too movement. That is when his daughter came out and spoke up. And I believe she's written a book as well. And then before that even happened, Woody Allen married one of the adopted children. So one of the children that they adopted together, he and Mia Farrow, I believe her name is Sun Yi, he married her. When she became of age in the state of New York, he married her. And I believe to this day is still married to her. So that just lets you know how nasty Woody Allen is. Okay, so Woody Allen is in several of these pictures. He's in a photo with Jeffrey Epstein on set, apparently. So I don't know if Jeffrey Epstein just happened to be on set or he helped to fund this film. I don't know, but you have that picture. And then you have this photo of Woody Allen with Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, who oftentimes has the ear of the felon. Yeah, Steve Bannon, who went to jail and was pardoned by the felon, but went to jail and he was arrested on some Chinese billionaire's yacht, but he went to jail for tricking people, basically taking their money, so stealing their money. So you have a picture of Woody Allen and Steve Bannon standing together talking, but in the middle, in between them, there is a child's chalkboard. This is the same chalkboard. I know it's a chalkboard because I bought the same chalkboard for my daughter for Christmas years ago. If you look at that picture, a lot of people might have missed this, but there's a child's chalkboard right between the two men as they're talking. And this photo was apparently taken at one of Epstein's properties. But yeah, Woody Allen has been nasty and just a nasty old for years, for generations now. And he's still around. Okay, so Alan Dershowitz, another one who's, I'm just the attorney, I'm not involved. Whenever I traveled with Epstein, my wife was always there. He's in the flight logs several times. We already knew this about Dershowitz. We also know that Dershowitz was involved in getting the sweetheart deal for Epstein back in 2008. We know that he was part of the legal team, so his ass is nasty and dirty too. Several pictures of Bill Gates. I'm going to repeat that. Several pictures of Bill Gates. One picture that stood out to me, two. There's one where he's standing there and it looks like or appears that he's talking to the formerly the Prince of, Prince Andrew. And then there's another photo of him standing next to the pilot of what appears to be a private plane. I'm assuming this was Epstein's plane. Now, these are professional pictures, so I don't know if Epstein hired someone to follow him around and take all these photos, because we know part of his MO, from what we have heard, part of his MO has been to gather evidence and information on people to be able to blackmail them. So he's got all these photos, okay? So you have Bill Gates standing there with the pilot, taking a picture with the pilot before he gets on the PJ. We have him taking a picture with the Prince Andrew, also with Virgin Airlines owner. There's a picture of the Virgin Airlines owner with Bill Gates and some other dude. And I cannot remember his name right now. Let me see if I can Google that real quick. Yeah, Richard Branson. Richard Branson is also in these photos. Now, Richard Branson also owns his own island. There haven't, to my knowledge, there haven't been any stories like this, like Epstein's, in regards to Richard Branson. Um, but he does own his own island, and he's a very wealthy individual. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And that's all I know. Larry Summers, who was a professor at Harvard University, he has since stepped down. I think since the not this last tranche, but the last emails, when the emails came out, Jeffrey Epstein emails came out. That's when he stepped down at Harvard University. You can find that video because some of the students, he spoke to all his classes. Apparently, some of the students posted that online, those videos online. And then you have the signed picture from Bill Clinton. So Bill Clinton was, remember the previous, with the emails, the previous tranche, you had the felon patting, patting up, patting up the body of Bill Clinton, starting with his penis and patting him up. So there's a video out there with Bill Clinton and the felon, felon 47, and that going on between them. So everybody was thinking, oh, so Bubba must be Bill Clinton. But then Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, came out because he was the one who wrote the email, who sent Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the email about Bubba. He came in out and cleared it up. He's like, no, Bubba is not Bill Clinton. And he just dropped it, stopped at that. But now we have more photos of Bill Clinton, one which is actually signed by him. There were other videos that were included that I did not post of various sex toys and a choke collar, butt plugs, things that, yeah, I was not going to post that. However, I do want to read you this an excerpt from Virginia Giuffre's book, because the things that you saw in those pictures, and if you haven't seen them, they're on the Oversight Committee's IG page if you want to go there to look at those pictures. But I just want to read you this two excerpts from her book. If you don't have her book, I highly recommend getting her book. It's wow. It's wow. Okay, so let me read this to you. Epstein was inventing new ways to abuse me. He became interested in S&M, basically, and he didn't care who knew it. Then she goes on to talk about when this Vanity Fair reporter came over, he had this book out that I guess would allude to or connects to S&M. This is on page 132, by the way, for any who do have the book. He began to experiment with whips and restraints and other instruments of torture. And at that time, I was the only one of the girls so far as I knew whom he subjected to this cruel torment. In session after session, he would play out various fantasies with me, the victim, as I was gagged and often hogtied. And keep in mind, she's a young girl. Epstein was basically his cap was 18, apparently. He was done with the girls when they hit 18. This was a young girl. Okay, so I'm going to read a child. This is a child. So, where did I leave off? Oh, I was gagged and often hogtied. Epstein liked to put a black leather metal studded collar around my neck that continued down my spine, where it attached to a chain that bound my hands and feet tightly together. Again, a girl. The back-breaking contortions of this contraption forced upon me caused so much pain that I prayed I would black out. When I did, I often awakened to more abuse. So that choke collar that you see in the picture and those other items, just when you see them, keep in mind that these are young girls, that not only Epstein, but these men, these dirty ass, nasty ass men that were involved were using on these victims as well. Now, I want to read one more passage to you. This one is about Maxwell because people are, she's trying to get out of jail. She's trying to get out of prison. She even went as far as to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, kicked it back down. She's at this plush little ranch type place now. She's been moved from Florida to Texas. She even has a puppy. She gets to go do yoga every day. And I want to read just one excerpt of what she would do to the girls. So apparently there became a time when she started to get older, and I'm talking about Maxwell. She started to become more and more jealous of the girls, specifically Virginia, because Virginia was the one who, or one of the few, who lived with them consistently. Well, I'm not lived with them, traveled with them consistently. She was like the one consistent girl that Epstein and Maxwell would abuse, sometimes together, sometimes not. And it wasn't that she only became jealous of Virginia, but what Virginia says in this passage is that the older she became, Maxwell became more jealous of when Epstein paid more attention to or tend to favor young girls. Young girls. So she had left for a period of time. So Epstein had kicked her out. I'm just trying to set this up. Kicked her out, told her to go take care of herself because she was heavily using drugs. And when you read this book, you can understand why. But after I returned to the fold, she started to take out these frustrations on me in new, brutal ways. Now, though, she seemed fiercely jealous of anyone whom Epstein showed any affection to. And again, she starts off this paragraph with talking about how she's getting older, Maxwell, closer. I think she might have turned 40 here. And then Epstein complimented her one day and said, "You have a very maternal instinct." He said to me more than once, and now he immediately resumed our nightly tuck-ins, which he would have her tuck him in, and yes, of course, it involved sex. But like a child, she was tucking this grown-ass 40, 50-year-old man in bed as a kid. In response, Maxwell began lashing out at me during our threesomes. For example, she would grab a larger than life-size dildo and use it to hurt me. If I complained, she hurt me more. So, and then she also goes on to say, she teased me also that soon I would be too old for Epstein. I highly recommend you get this book. So when you see these pictures, when you see these photos, you know what these girls and these young women were subjected to. And I didn't even read the passage involving one of the prime ministers from Israel. I didn't even read that one. That is the one of the worst, in my opinion. So moving right along. Um, Also, I wanted to note that there is a pattern that we're seeing, and I hope, at least I'm seeing it. I hope that other people are recognizing it as well. Every time there's a tranche of Epstein information released, there is a counteraction by the White House. So you had, Epstein drop, and then you had the blowing up of the Venezuelan boats. You had the Epstein drop, and then these National Guard members are killed in DC. Now we have another Epstein drop, and just today there was an ambush apparently on some American military members of the military in Syria. That happened today, and the Epstein drop happened on Thursday. Now, the National Guard members, it's still unclear well, I'm sorry, I haven't heard any more discussion about the motive of that um, individual from Afghanistan who was bought here by our government, who was trained by our government. Um, we haven't heard anything else about the motive for that individual. Everybody just moved on in the news cycle. But I just want to make sure that you're noting a pattern. Every time there's more Epstein information, there is um, something else profound happens in America or to Americans that they try to shift the focus on, in my opinion. Now, condolences to the family members of those National Guard members. Well, the one young lady who passed away, I believe the young man is still alive. And again, we haven't heard anything else about that. And then today, I believe there were two soldiers that lost their lives. So, again, prayers and condolences to their family members. But I just want you to pay attention. Each and every time there is a pattern. Now, to wrap this one up, the DOJ still has until the 19th, which is this coming Friday, to release all of the information that they have. Um, Again, I just want to reiterate, literally, the felon could say today, just release all of it. I'm tired of all this, having this discussion over and over again. Just release all of it. If he didn't have anything to hide, if he wasn't concerned or worried about anything for himself, or maybe protecting others, maybe protecting Bannon, maybe protecting, other people who have contributed to, I don't know, his Bitcoin or whatever other money that he's getting. I don't know. I don't know, but it just, to me, it makes no sense to over and over and over, every time something drops, you're going to have to address this. Why not just get it all out there? And he has the power to. He has the power to release it right now, today. So that's all for this episode. I will keep you posted on any other updated information. I'm sure there will be more this week. So I will talk to everybody soon.